What is going on this morning, my trippy hippies? What is going on? It is Tammy coming to you live from my office, not from the Zendan today. I found that when I was unplugging the printer to plug in over on the other side of the world, it was messing up my printer feed. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stay live from right here for right now so I get that all set up over there. Good morning, Melanie Lewis from Cartersville, Virginia. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. It is 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, which means it is time for Sunday sermon. If those of you that are just tuning in, I am live in a couple of places. So I do this disclaimer so that it's just the beginning of the lives so that everybody watching kind of has a good idea of what's happening and where the hell they are and what they're watching. Good morning, Heather Johns from Key Largo, Florida. I miss you so much. I know we've both been kind of off since Reiki level 2 attunements, but I feel like today we're going to inhale and exhale. We are live today. On Facebook and a couple of places and also on YouTube. So we're live on the Hometown Hippie Elevated Edibles VIP Facebook private group, which most of you watch from there. We're live from the Hometown Hippie business page. And we are also live in our YouTube channel. So if you can do me a couple of favors this morning as you're jumping on here, do what it says below because I am live in a couple of places. And also Facebook tends to hide us for some strange reason. Good morning, Amanda Rose Giorgetti. So if you guys could do me the things that say below, right? Number one, say hi as you're all doing. And then tell me where you're watching from. And then in a separate little comment there, write hashtag grateful fig. What is up, Hank Burns of the Courthouse Cannabis family? I hope that Miss Selena is sitting beside you, and I hope that somebody can tag Grace DuPont and Mel and all the people who make up the Hometown Hippie team, which includes Hank and Red. Somebody tag my husband. He's at home watching this. The entire Hometown Hippie team is getting a little shout out today. I have some things I want to say, and I want to, you know me, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So if y'all could tag some folks for me, I'd appreciate it. But we are live in a couple of places today, like we always are. And again, I am sitting here in my office. If you can see, I got my chair in my office. The internet at my house is non-existent. We have no internet. I can't even watch TV like Netflix. Can't even watch Netflix. What's up, Elizabeth? We got Clearwater, Florida in the house. We've got Courthouse Cannabis family in the house. We've got Crew, Virginia in the house. We have, that's Selena England being tagged in the comments. So we have a lot of stuff. She's had to go pick up Aria. She is sick. She'll definitely be watching when she gets home. Oh no. Did Aria get like sick from like eating something, you think? Or just like, I hope it's not like sick. Oh, I hate that. So we're going to let's send some heart energy right now. Let's send some heart energy out to Aria, who is sick. And she can give her some love and healing vibes if that's okay with her dad that we send her out. Alpha gal. So I thought maybe she ate something she shouldn't have. Yeah, that sucks. Poor baby. I know she gets hit hard with that. We're gonna hold space that she is cured of that out of her body as she grows up. We're gonna hold space that gets cured. From some of my friends have been using acupuncture with lots and lots and lots of relief. So if that's something your family's interested in, Hank, I will certainly get you some information on that. We also have a Facebook user. I'm not sure who it is. He sent the little 3 hearts, but welcome. So most of you know that are here, and many of you watching probably know as well. Sunday mornings at 10 a.m., I come live from wherever in the world I am, and try to be very consistent with Sunday sermon. And I do a live, and it's kind of my weekly. It's like I say I'm a little bit woo-woo. I'm a whole lot woo-woo, a little bit weed, but probably a whole lot of both, right? A little bit of both. And Sunday sermon is the day that we kind of do our it's the beginning of a new week, right? Sunday is the beginning of a new week. And a lot of people roll into traditional churches on Sunday mornings and they hear a message. And so I've been doing this live for a couple of years now. Amanda Giorgetti, Melanie Lewis. Some of you may remember it from when it was, we did Saturday mornings versus Sunday mornings. And it was called Coffee Chat. And then we realized that people were running around early on Saturday mornings. And I didn't want to get up all the time on Saturday mornings because it was one of my days off. And we moved it to Sunday mornings. And I said, you know what? We're going to because people used to tell me all the time on coffee chat, they're like, girl, you're taking me to church. Like I would say that all the time. And we started joking. We started calling it Sunday sermon. And lo and behold, here we are several years later at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings doing a little Sunday sermon. And it is just basically any type of guided message, or sometimes it doesn't get guided till the morning of. And I've told this story before. I'm going to tell it again for those of you in the back who didn't hear it. But usually, a lot of times, I will get the whispers of what the Sunday sermon is going to be about from something that I'm watching on television. And I know that's weird and all the things. You're like, yeah, but no, it's not. Because interestingly enough, if you are someone who prescribes to spiritual belief, right? Even if you don't, even if you're someone who is as strictly a Christian faith, because religion and spirituality are two different things, right? I'm going to go over that today a little bit. Religion and spirituality are definitely two different things. And I believe that we can all have our own religion, right? Our own faith-based system that we subscribe to. And we can also have our own spiritual journey, our own walk in this world with our God, right? With our God, because it is everyone's God. God is just God. No matter what you call it, no matter what you call God, God is just that, right? The benevolent, creator of all things. I believe that I am sitting here on this planet in this time and day and age and all the things, right? I believe that I have a purpose, and my soul's purpose is to do the work that I'm doing now. And I traveled down a lot of paths getting to where I'm at now. And I can guarantee you, I want to hear in the comments, right? In the comments, if you know it, or if you're searching. So I want you to know, I know my soul's purpose, or I am searching for my soul's purpose. I want to know in the comments. And if you want to share what your soul's purpose is, we'd love to hear it. If it's something private, I get that. I am aware everything. I just wear it on my sleeves, right? So do you feel that you know what your soul's purpose is? Do you feel that you are walking in your soul's purpose? And as we started growing the Hometown Hippie brand, as this whole thing started, are y'all interested in searching? I'm searching. And that's what I thought a lot of people were going to say. And that's what today's service is about. That's what today's Sunday sermon is about. It's about the searching of the soul's purpose and how to tune in to find that soul's purpose, because there's a difference between finding your soul's purpose, right? And standing in your power to be of service, whatever that may be in the moment. I love that. I feel like I'm getting closer to what I'm supposed to be doing all the time. And I'm glad. It's so interesting. Thank you, universe. I want to tell y'all, the universe is full of abundance, right? God has got unlimited, unbridled abundance just waiting for each and every one of us to tap into it. But you have to tap into it. And it's interesting to see this. And I'm going to use the people who are here because y'all are part of the family. And I know that you allow me to. If I say your name, you're like, don't put me into this bullshit. I won't put you into this bullshit, right? But I want to use Amanda and Elizabeth and Heather and Melanie as examples, specific examples of what we're talking about today on this Sunday sermon. Is that okay if I use everybody? I want to use Amanda and Elizabeth and Heather and Melanie. Y'all are the four people that I want to be able to use as an example right now. And know that you are supported and you're in a safe space here, right? I know that y'all usually don't mind if I use your example. So Amanda and Elizabeth said that they're searching, and Heather and Melanie said that they feel like they're getting closer. Now, I want to say this. I'm good with that. Okay, use me, and abuse me, right? All four of these women who are talking right now are part of our brand ambassador team. Melanie, Heather, Elizabeth, and Amanda pretty much we met the other day. We decided who was going to post what. They're going to help us out with getting the website kind of up and going. Now, Elizabeth Clark also helped us this summer with our trim crew. Good morning. I'm not sure who this is. It just says Facebook user. Please allow permission so we can see you. It's interesting because I have been working with each of these individual people, and Melanie and Heather right? Melanie and Heather have been really in tune to their meditations and to their journaling and to showing up for their spiritual wellness. They have been really doing the work to hear their spirit guides, right? They have gone from surviving to thriving, right? They have gone from that place of I am in a place where my head isn't above water enough where I can start making life affirming choices to thrive in my life. I have dug my way out of that survival place. It does not mean that Amanda and Elizabeth are different. They're still searching, that they're not working hard. It just means, right, that Heather and Melanie, right? Heather and Melanie have been doing this a little bit longer, right? They have gotten their head above water. Amanda and Elizabeth have been dealt some cards recently in the last couple of years. Some things have been happening that they're doing the work, y'all. They're still showing up. And sometimes they're in survival mode, right? Sometimes they're in survival mode. And like they say, I am doing the best I can do today. And that's all I can do. And sometimes I go up here and sometimes I go down here, but every day I'm trying. And so it doesn't make, right? It doesn't make Melanie and Heather better than or cooler than Amanda and Elizabeth, right? Because guess what? They're all deciding that a stumble in their road is not going to be the end of their journey. Poor Amanda and Elizabeth have just had a few more roadblocks in their way in the last couple of months because they have not tuned in as much to the universe, a little different on their path. Now, I'm going to say this, right? Amanda and Elizabeth are hungry for that soul's purpose, right? They are both saying, I don't have it all figured out yet. And some days I falter, but every day I am showing up. Every day I'm showing up. If I had a dollar for every time Elizabeth says, today's not a good day, but tomorrow will be better, she does the work, y'all. She does the work. And I want us all to know that wherever you are in this community, right? Wherever you are in this community, whether you are brand new on this path of awakening, of your spiritual journey, of your trying to live the tenements of the four agreements, or go out and the power of one be about somebody other than you, because a lot of us are still trying, right? That's what the power of one is about. A lot of us are still trying. I say this all the time, and I mean this 100%. You cannot pour what you don't have out of your cup. Katie, I got you. Look at you showing up now. Look at you. We can see you. You cannot pour you cannot pour out what you don't have. You cannot pour out what you do not have. So as a community, as a Grateful Fed community, we say that it's the power of one starts now, because it does. Because you have to pour into yourself before you can pour into others. And I'm going to encourage those of you right now, and Hank just said this, he says, I'm just surviving most days, but I only feel bad about it when I don't try. Love that. Here's the thing. Never let a stumble in the road be the end of your journey, right? Because here's the thing. We all have shitty days. We all have days when you say to yourself, tell me in the comments, how many times can I get a hallelujah, amen, something in the comments? If you have gotten through maybe the first hour of your day, maybe you woke up at 7. It is now 8 o'clock and you're sitting in the car still trying to get to your destination, right? You've spilt your coffee. You have gotten your elbow bumped doing your makeup, or when you went to pee, you didn't know the seat was up, down, and you peed all, you know what I'm saying? Like, if little things, you wore the wrong shoes to work, the kids wouldn't wear what you played out. It was just one of those mornings. By the first hour of being up, you're like, what the fuck? This is not my day today. Like, I just want this day to be over with. I just want this day to stop. I am done with this day. Has anybody ever said that by the first 5 minutes? Amen, hallelujah. Because I could amen, hallelujah. Ooh, okay. Look, it was a too terrible morning. I know. Yes, right? Exactly. Amen, right? How many of us have ever gotten up in the morning, right? And the first bad thing happens, and it just feels like an avalanche of nonsense. It just rolls downhill picks you up in it, and it rolls you away, and you just cannot get ahead of that avalanche, right? I want you to take those days, right? I want you to take the next one of those days that you have, and I want you to stop in that moment. And I want you to say, inhale, exhale. I want you to pattern interrupt that day, and I want you to affirm, this morning, this last hour of my day will not dictate the rest of my day. This little moment in my morning will not create chaos in the rest of my day. Because I'm going to ask you a question right now. How many of you have ever gotten up, right, and hit every green light on the way to work? Your outfit was chef's kiss. Your hair was done right. You just had one of those mornings where everything just went right, right? Just went right. Everything went perfect for you. And then 10 minutes into your day at work, the boss yells at you, and then the rest of your day is ruined. Anybody else ever had one of those good mornings, and then just like midday, somebody says a word and it ruins the rest of your day? Hallelujah, amen. Can I get a hallelujah, amen? Yep, a bird pooped on my shoulder. And I've seen that happen. I have seen a bird shit on my head before. I have had it happen. But here's what I'm going to tell you, right? If you will let the bad stuff dictate the rest of your day, right? If you let that moment dictate your day, why are we not allowing the hours of good to dictate our day? It's that two things can be true, right? If you will allow a bad thing happening to let your whole day spiral, have you ever allowed the good spiral, the happy spiral? Right? Think about that. Think about how easy it is for us to fall into despair, and how hard is it for us to raise our vibration up to that level of happiness. How easy it is for us to settle into the ho-humness of the bullshit, but we don't hold on to the beautiful stuff and let it raise us up. Think about that. And that is the programming of the humankind, of the mankind, of all of the things, right? So as we go into today's service, this is just a little, I didn't know this was coming out today. This is something a little different than what I had planned to talk about, but we're getting there too. So when I say you can't pour from an empty cup, what I'm going to tell you is this, right? You are allowed to fill up your cup. That's how I turned my life around. I started being happy for the things that were right instead of bad. Exactly. That's what I'm going to tell you, right? Exactly. I'm leaving that up, right? That's how I turned my life around. I started being happy for the things that went right instead of the bad. Changed my life expediently. Yes, I just did this. This morning, I took a breath, reset, and then moved on. It's called a pattern interrupt. And that's what I'm going to tell you, right? Again, if your mess is not a message and you are living in the mess, right? If you are looking around your life right now and going, I don't even know which corner to get the trash bag to start, right? You have not found your message yet. But here is the key to that. You take a deep breath, inhale, you exhale, and you just start one problem at a time. And that is the power of one, the power of one problem, the power of one moment, the power of going out and being a blessing to one person, even if that person is you. And that is things like stopping. What's up from Georgia? Georgia. All the day through. I love that song. Just an old y'all know I'm silly. I had to break the monotony a little bit because I got a real big heart well because somebody's like not liking what I'm saying. Somebody out there is gripping on to what I'm saying. Give me a second over here. All right, so okay. Somebody is not liking the fact that they have to get the trash bag out, right? Because here's the thing. The more you shove the shit, y'all, the power of one starts with you. And that's what I'm talking about. It starts with you. It's not about sitting here listening to my Sunday sermons or coming to all the things. It is about doing the work, right? It is about the power of one, putting it into action. And if you don't have it to give to somebody else, then it is your duty and your responsibility, right? I'm not saying should on yourself. I'm saying it is your responsibility to pick up a trash bag or whatever bucket or whatever junk box you want to find, right? And you start looking at, and that's what I did in 2000. This is how my journey started. And I said, what can I control right now? Because one of the things that I was dealing with was my health, right? Very much. How many people right now got high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, anxiety, fibromyalgia, lupus, RA, arthritis, spondylosis? I mean, in this community, a lot of people come to me for anxiety and for pain and for sleep and all of those stuff. And again, the plant-based medicine can help that happen. Because sometimes you need to pattern interrupt and get a good night's sleep. You need to eat a 300 milligram cookie and just get a good night's sleep and see if tomorrow doesn't feel better. But when tomorrow feels better after that 300 milligram cookie and you slept, you now have to put the work in. Because nothing in this world, nothing in this incarnation in humankind, when we start to come into this body and these souls and these things, right? This edible, and here's the thing, Susie, it does not. This edible allows you to release your shoulders and to get a clearer head. But if you eat edibles and then choose just to eat edibles, and I love that, but you don't do the spiritual work, if you are working on a spiritual journey, because everything physical dis-ease in our body is normally attached to some type of traumatic energy work you have to work through your body, right? Like, for example, with the hot flashes, I'm going to tell you this. There's no scientific evidence that cannabis can help you with hot flashes. What it can do is it can reset your body, put you in homeostasis, and allow you to handle those hot flashes a little bit better from a mental standpoint. It's mind over matter. The endocannabinoid system connects the body and the mind together and allows the mind to work to heal the body. And when I Reiki infuse and supercharge those, I put all of that stuff in those. So it does do a little extra light healing work. But here's the thing. You still have to do the work. You still have to recognize your trigger. You still have to do the shadow work and heal from that trigger. Again, you can't keep letting the tree fall in the road, right? And walking around it. If you keep trying to avoid the things that the universe says, hey, come deal with this, come cut this up, come burn it for firewood, come warm yourself by the ashes of it or the heat of it because it is no longer serving you in this form. Now clean this up and transmute it to make it work for you. You're going to continue to follow the same cycles of life. You're going to keep having 2 good months and 3 bad months. You're going to have 1 good month and 5 bad months, 5 bad months, and then maybe a week of it's going to happen. How many people have seen this happen? I have 100%. 1 million, trillion, quadrillion %. Do I see that whenever I say, oh, I've got shadow work to deal with, this keeps coming up for me. Let me just walk around this right now. Let me damper that down a little bit, right? Let me push that somewhere else right now. If we're cleaning a house, right? Let me put that in the closet for a little while. Let me just shove that under the bed. Let me put this in the junk drawer because I'm not ready to deal with this right now. It's just like cleaning your house, right? Some things you sweep up, you put the things that are easy, you see them. But how many times do we go in there and do the baseboards or the high dusting or the waxing of the floors or the starching and ironing of the curtains? Anybody, this make resonance with anybody? Right? As you grow in this community, because this is a community of people, as we grow, right? As we grow as a community, we're going to raise our vibration, which means the people who don't do this work are going to naturally fall off. And we've seen that happen already. And it's very, very disheartening for me to watch so many people with and that's one of the things that is my karmic lesson. I can't save everybody. And it's not my job to save anyone. It is your responsibility to do that. But I want to throw a life raft to as many. I want to blow up lifeboats and just keep throwing them out the back of the boat, y'all. Keep throwing lifeboats out of the back of the boat and say, here, 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 here. Right here. Like, we love you. We hate. And I've seen so many people that I genuinely have like, I was like, why does my heart hurt so bad lately? Like, I have been like struggling, like thinking that I'm having like a woman heart attack. And this is a little, I'm telling you all this for the first time, right? I'm not told anybody this. My husband and my sister know because I at home like freaking out about it. But the last couple of weeks, I've had these weird symptoms. And I'm like, am I having a freaking silent heart attack? I'm like, I am perfectly in tune to do that, right? As I drink my iced coffee I got this morning. And last night I sat down, I took some deep breaths. And I realized, right? I was like, explain to me why. I told the nurse, like, hey, I was like, something's going on. I'm trying to get into my body. I was doing a little self Reiki on myself. And I was like, I need to understand. I said, do I need to know why I feel this way? And the answer was, yes, you need to know. And I was like, will you tell me? And the answer was yes, right? And the universe said to me, your heart is broken because you're mourning the loss of what could have been. Your heart is breaking because you're mourning the loss of what could have been. And I was like, no truer words have ever been spoken. That's exactly what's going on. I am mourning the loss of what could have been. Because I've seen so many people who have said the words to me, like, I'm doing the work, I'm ready for it, let's do this, I'm all about it. And then when it comes putting rubber to the road, they have a reason or an excuse or something else like that. And I have been holding on to that with such veracity, right? I have been holding on to that with such veracity that I have been not allowing my blessings to come in. I have been mourning so hard that I can't see the forest for the trees. And when I realized, right, I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, my heart hurts. My heart hurts because it is literally breaking for people. And the universe said to me that it is not, that is not my place. Like, it's like mourn for it and move on. Mourn it and move on, right? And I'm like, tell me how. Like, tell me how. And the universe says it's the power of one, right? The power of one. I'm like, I don't get it. And then there's, you will. And I think I'm starting to get it this morning, right? It's just the power of one, right? It's every day you plant one seed, right? For every the power of one, right? That might not be the one person it's not their time, right? Two things can be true. I'm mourning the potential of what could have been, but I should be rejoicing in the potential that it still is, because the potential is still there. That's what the universe is saying to me, right? The universe is saying, it's like, you've talked about this. You scoop up the dirt. You do this. Not everyone has been under enough time and pressure. Not everyone is at that place, right? They're still falling down. And you have to look at that one. You might shake 70,000 buckets of dirt to get one gold nugget. But that one gold nugget is worth it because you got that one gold nugget. And I don't mean that in a monetary thing from this. What I'm saying is that that's not their time. And there's no reason to mourn the loss of potential, because the potential is always there. Right? So that it's like, just not right now, just not at this time, right? It's not no forever, it's no for right now. It's a no for me, dog, right? It's a no for me, dog. Because, I talk to people all the time and they look at me sometimes like I have 14 heads. And I'm like, this is my belief system. My belief system is that we have souls, contracts, and karmic lessons that we have to do in this lifetime. And I feel like once we have kind of like fulfilled all of our contracts with people, because we have karmic ties and karmic contracts and all these things. And what I'm not realizing is like, we are only here in this incarnation for a blink of an eye. Eternity and time and all the things are just made up and unreal. And I am mourning something that is not lost. I am mourning something that just hasn't flourished yet. That is like mourning the fact when you plant it. This is what God said. When you plant a seed, it's like mourning the loss of the seed. When you know if you give it time and we let me give it sun, keep giving it water and sunshine, and it's going to blossom. But you can't cry at the loss of that potential because it's still there, right? Until they are buried in the ground, until they stop taking air in their lungs, the potential to blossom into whatever they're supposed to blossom into is still there. But I can't go into the soil and grow for them, right? That's what God's like. I've told you this and I've showed you this and I've been telling you this. And I said, I know, God, but I'm hard-headed and I get in my feelings and all the things. And that's what I'm saying, right? So sometimes the pep talks you got to give, the people that you got to go out and help is yourself. And I was like, you know what? I was like, but if I've done this for myself, how I want to help other people now. And God says to me, but by helping yourself, you are helping others. I was like, huh? When are you the best wife? When are you the best sister? When are you the best mom? When are you the best friend? When are you the best employer? When are you the best, whatever, cooker, baker? When are you the best daughter? When are you the best anything? When are you the best? When are you shooting on all cylinders? I was like, oh, when I'm 100, everybody else is 100. But when I ain't shit, I'm not shit to anybody else. So when I look at wanting to be a light worker or a healer or a helper or a lighthouse or whatever you want to call it, God says the only person that you can control and what they do every single day and how it happens and what time frame it happens is you, is me. I can only look for myself. Send some love out to the 911 call for Katie Shaw's BFF. I know that she's had some, she's been holding space for her. So we're going to send her out some love. We're going to whoosh her out some love. Now, Heather says this, my biggest hurdle is accepting not yet, be patient, right? Because that's the thing. We want things to happen on our timeline. And when we talk about the power of one and going out and planting that seed, how many of you say yes? I want you to know, how many of you have gone out and maybe had a chance to run into an old friend or someone who you've dealt with in the past, someone who you've been friends with, or even someone who's really close to you, family member or something like that. And you're on fire about something. You're like, you know what? I'm flowing right now. And I want to share this information with you. It's about like getting out in the dirt and like taking some deep breaths and or whatever it may be, maybe just trying to give someone that you love some advice. Right. And they kind of like they half listen to you like, all right, dude, whatever. All right, bitch, I hear you. Right. That's what, how people talk to each other like, okay, I hear you. And maybe like, I'm going to use Missy Shaw or Katie Shaw as an example, right? She said she held space for her best friend who was dealing with something. And I'm sure that when they have that conversation, right, I've done this. I've had a girlfriend. I'm going to use me. I've had a girlfriend who's been in a really shit situation, abusive relationship, just not being with someone who's just not the right person for them. Right. And, they get in a fight and I try to always remember, like, they're just arguing and tomorrow they're going to be fine. So let me say nothing that's going to really offend. But I want to be clear that whatever. And then, they come to you and they're like, you're right. I'm going to start. This is the year of me. I'm going to start taking care of myself. Everybody else be damned. And I can't pour from an empty cup and my cup is empty. And they agree and they agree and they agree. And they're all gung ho about like going to journal. I'm going to put my feet in the dirt. I'm going to do the work. And then you see them in 2 weeks and they're just doing the same shit on a different day, crying the same blues. And then you're like, I don't even know why I fuck with them. I don't even know why I talk to them. They don't do nothing they say they're going to do. I mean, that's human nature. Can I get a hallelujah amen if you ever had this happen? Have you ever had a friend who was in a shit situation? You give them this advice. They tell you, I'm going to do all these things. I'm doing this stuff. I'm all this. I'm all that. I got you, girl. I'm doing it. And then the next 2 weeks later, they in the same BS they was in before. Doing the same thing without changing a lick or a split. How many of you have been that person? How many of you have been on the other side of that? How many of you have been on the other side when somebody's trying to help you and you say all that stuff and then a week later, you are being that same asshole? Hank, I love it. Amanda Giorgetti, I believe I am that friend. See, here's the thing, right? Um, right? So I was like, oh, guilty on all counts. Guilty on all counts, right? We've been on both sides. We've all been on both sides, right? And I'm also, Heather says, we have all been giving free will. So if we're not changing it, you're choosing it, right? And we know that. But this goes back to Heather's other thing, because here's the thing, as the friend who is on the other side of that now, like I feel like I have really crossed the mountain and I'm on the other side of some of the like things that have fallen off, right? So as we go through our spiritual journey, we raise our vibration, right? So the first time I raised my vibration, all of my alcohol, anything that I did with alcohol fell off. I do not drink alcohol. I vibrate higher than alcohol, right? That's what I say. I don't vibrate at that level. I've moved up. Then I said, I'm done smoking cigarettes. I'm not going to do that anymore. That vibrates at a different level than what I do. It made me feel gross. These are things that I complained that I did. I was like, I'm going to quit. I'm done. I'm done with these damn things. Next week you see me, I'm getting a pack of cigarettes, smoking a cigarette. Or I'm on a diet. I'm not eating that anymore. Happened, y'all. I don't know what's happened. I didn't lose signal. Just something with the internet went weird because we have a really bad storm here today. Can everybody see me in my back? Can y'all say yes? I'm cool. I'm back. I'm putting this up there. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? Can y'all see me now? Yes. Okay, I'm good. Okay, making sure I was good. Okay. All right. So I've been on both sides of it, but I'm gonna tell y'all a story I've not told y'all, I don't think, in this group. But I used to drive back and forth to work when I had a day job, like a real job. And I was really tired of like putting in just track. I love music, but I had all this time in the car. I was driving to Richmond, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to some audibles because I really listen. I wanted to read more books. I'm like, this is a way for me to hear some books, and I called it reading books. Excuse me. So I try to do stuff that's like helpful. So I was like, I'm going to listen to this audiobook and then get these messages. And if the book resonates when I listen to it, I go out and buy it and then I read it again and take notes and do all the work for it. I kind of workshop the book, especially with books that I feel like have like a strategy or a method for like learning how to do business or marketing or whatever. Anybody else do Audible or read a lot of books? They say the most successful people read about 60 books a year. I would like to get to that level, but right now I'm in it right now. And I'm going to tell y'all that's what I'm hoping Selena and Grace get on here before I end, and Mel and everybody. So, anyway, I'm listening to this book and it was a girl talking about, walking in integrity and like being as good as your word, right? And how you should, and it was interesting. And this is where this is one of the things I say in clear audio things. I hear things that kind of whisper through to me. And this is why this is where I changed a lot of my stuff. And I'm hoping this resonates with y'all. She said that she had a friend who was always talking about how they weren't going to do this, they weren't going to do that. And she said she was famous for that too. And she had been addicted, she said, to Diet Cokes, but sodas were just so bad for her. So she kept saying, I'm never going to drink another Diet Coke. I'm done with them. I'm done. And then she said about a month later, she was out to brunch and she had said it in like a party night. They were like, oh, I feel so gross with these sodas. I'm done with sodas. I'm not drinking Diet Cokes anymore. And she said she's out to brunch or whatever. She ordered a Diet Coke and her friend said to her, I thought more of you than that, or something to that effect. She's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you said that you weren't going to drink Diet Cokes anymore because they made you feel awful. She's like, yeah, you know how that is. She's like, yeah, but think about this, because she was going to do some kind of work with this person, some type of like business, back and forth. And this person says to her, well, if you can't keep your word to yourself, she wanted a contract, what it was. So they were going to work together as friends on like a kind of a handshake deal. They were young, but I thought it was fine. But her friend, when it came time to do like the business deal, wanted a contract to sign where they're both protected. She's like, I'm just surprised. What made this kind of trigger this from wanting a contract signed? And this person said this thing. And when I heard this, when I tell y'all, it resonated with me. And it's why I went public with, it's kind of the moment that made me come public and do all the lives. I started going live a lot when I heard these words. And the girl said to her, told her the story where you had said you weren't drinking Diet Cokes anymore. And then every time, the next 5 times I saw you, you were drinking Diet Cokes. And she said, the most important person in your world should be you. The person you don't have to have any lies with or tell any stories to should be you. And you told yourself that they made you feel, you said they made me feel shitty and I'm not drinking them anymore. You can control that 100%, right? The person saying that I'm not going to drink diet soda anymore, 100% has the power to make that happen because they are the ones that are choosing to drink it. If you're not changing it, you're choosing it. You chose that drink. So no one put a gun to your head to drink Diet Coke. You did it. So the girl says, if you can't keep your word to yourself, then how do I expect you to keep your word to me? And when I heard that on the Audible, when I heard the girl say, if you cannot keep your word to yourself, why would anybody else believe you and keep your word to them? Because you should be the most important person in your life to yourself. If you lie to yourself, the person who you live with every day and look in the mirror, if you will lie to yourself, then you will look me in my face and lie to me. I don't live with you. I'm not inside your house every day, right? And so when I say I'm going to do something, when I come on here, and then in that moment, I stopped my car, I pulled over and I wrote that down. And I have it on a piece of like scratchy pulled off of probably some bill I hadn't paid at that moment. It's the life I was living then. Probably on a cigarette pack. Someone probably stuck it down in my cigarette pack as I was driving back and forth smoking a packet each way. If you can't keep your word to yourself, then how do I expect you to keep your word to me? So the next time you're dealing with a friend like that, right? That's that. I forgot about. I need to write that down. I won't tell you that. Well, you ain't got to tell me. Tell yourself. And then the 4 agreements came in after that about be impeccable with your language. And so when I am working the way that I'm working right now, to be able to create my soul's purpose, to be able to stand in my power, right? But what I found was happening as of late in the last couple of months, I've been getting a lesson in a couple of things. And I'm going to share, might go a little long today, I'm sorry. It's that God was a universal whatever is like, okay, you are walking in integrity. You're trying to be as good as your language and all these things. But I think it is. I think the 4 agreements is a very easy read. And it's very simple instructions, right? I lost track of my thought. Give me a second. I lost track of my thought. But I stopped. Let me get myself together because my heart felt weird, like really weird all of a sudden, like kind of like an exhale almost. Like you finally said it, right? As I work through all of this, right? As I start putting these things into play, the universe says to me, speak what you seek till you see what you said. Is what I've been saying for years. For me to see what I said, right? For me to see what I said, I have to allow growth in my life. I have to let go of the reins of all the things that I'm gripping onto, right? And for the blessings, right? For the abundance to come into your life. Some of those friends, some of those things that are no longer serving you, some of those lies that you're telling yourself. Number one, if you're looking for your soul's journey right now and you're still searching for it and you can't find it, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's something in your life that is holding the space for you knowing that. You are gripping onto something that is not serving you. And the universe is like, when you let go of this, there's room for that soul's purpose to come in. But when you grip so tightly onto those things that are no longer serving you, maybe it's habit, maybe it's the lies you tell yourself, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's food, maybe it's cigarettes, maybe it's whatever, opioids, maybe it's whatever it may be. Whatever it is that you are holding on to so tightly, right? You're holding, that is taking the space up where your blessings belong. When I talk about the power of one, right? And going out every day and you can change the world for one person, even if that person is you, when that person is you, that job, that responsibility and the work that you have to do and you are the person that you have to deal with, that's the hard work. It is way easy for me to go help somebody else, but it is way harder for me to help myself. Anybody else have that? Because you have to deal with your bullshit. Like I can tell you, I can say, hey, here's some tools and here's some things we can hold space. Holding space is way easier than doing it. I'm gonna tell you right now, holding space, if that's what I'm learning, right? And Heather and Melissa and Melanie and all y'all can tell me, if you hold space for people, you're like, hey, I am standing in the knowing that you have already accomplished this. That's what I do whatever it may be. Like if you ask me to hold space for healing, I say to myself, right? It is my intention to put myself in the place to see this person come out on the other side fully healed. I am holding the space of complete healing so that I am seeing you and imagining with complete healing. With everything that you ever wanted in your life, I am on the other side in that universe waiting to hug you when you get there. Right? Knowing, and I am the confidence that I have that you're going to be there because I know that you can do it. Right? But whenever I'm going through shadow work or I'm going through the bullshit, I don't know if I'm coming out of the other side or not. I don't know. It's harder to do that. You have to like cry it out. You have to do the work. You got to journal it out. You got to let people go. You got to do the harder thing. You know, it's much harder. And I know that it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. But if you are searching and you don't want to, you know, get up every day and go through the same bullshit 3 motions of good, good, bad, 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 good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. The ping pong game, right? If you really truly want to find yourself, that's the thing I'm giving, right? I know that people are holding on to stuff. I know that people are standing. You are your own worst enemy. Right? We are our own worst enemies. And I watched this TikTok the other day. I'm going to do this. We're going to pull a card and all the things. I'm going to wrap it all up. I promise. But what I am telling y'all, I said all that to say this, right? I have been the sole hands, right? The sole pusher and creator of so much stuff in this business. And one of the hardest things that I had to do, right, was to allow other people to make the food. Like if I make everything, okay, my plan was when we got to this shop for me to do all the things I wanted to do was for us to get up to inventory, for me to go in there and make a bunch of stuff and then all of them to put it in places where it's all this good inventory. Then I only would have to come in the kitchen to cook 2 days a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays were going to be my days in the kitchen. Every other day, it should just be them pulling the inventory to bake off fresh because I make the cookie dough or we make the cookie dough in advance and we make the balls, pre-portion them all. We lay them flat on sheet trays. We have a whole process we do. We flash freeze them so we can then pull them out and they're fresh cookies to bake fresh for you. Or we make, we have a process we can hold inventory to keep everything good and fresh. And y'all know you get the stuff, right? Well, the old comfortable shoe. Let's see what this is. The old comfortable shoe, even if it's something bad, unhealthy, or harmful, we tend to hold on to things just because we don't want or like the change. Holding on to these things, no matter what the reason, they hinder our ability to start our new journey and healing and change we need. Self-care. Yes. And I want to say this, okay? I'm going to add on to Melanie's and what it is. That is fear vibration. The holding on to, it's your ego. And people get so upset with ego. Y'all know I've talked about ego as our self-created personality body that is meant to keep us small and safe. So when you have all those things, like, it's fine. Just eat the pizza rolls. It's not going to hurt you. You're here. You're hungry. You're grown. It's your response. You're fine. Just do what you want to do. Worry about it tomorrow. That is your ego trying to make you happy. That is your ego trying to stay in its safe little space and keep you where you need to be. It is your responsibility to say, hey, I'm going to do the harder thing. I am going to raise my vibration. And even if nobody sees me eat the pizza rolls, then I know I eat the pizza rolls and I keep my word to myself, right? Because that's how I lost 100 pounds. It's also how I put on 50 more, but I'm taking those off too soon. I got a plan. But when you think about, and that's why, like right now, like I'm gonna go back to that for just a second. It's so interesting because with that, like if you can't keep your word to yourself, how can you keep it to me? So I am very careful now when I say that I'm going to do something and I say it out loud. That's why I say it out loud in public. So if you hear me say like this is going to happen on this is how this is going to happen, I am very adamant to say I've said that out loud. I've put that into the universe. I've put it all into the universe. Now I'm going to allow that to happen for me, right? And I'm going to make sure that I am. No one sees this. This is not something that I don't do, right? Yes, yes, I have learned so much. And just as you're saying now, those words resonating with me has helped me to make the yes, you have to, now you are accountable. Yes, now you are accountable. And so let go of ego. Let go of that. Do the harder thing, right? Step into something that's unknown. We are responsible for our triggers. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, it's no longer because of anything other than you are choosing not to do the work. You are choosing to do just enough work to get you through whatever hard time it is, right? It's like going, there's a new Jelly Roll song that is phenomenal. It's about only time that I'm praying is when I need saving kind of thing. Do you know what song I'm talking about? His new song about like, whenever he only comes to God when he's in a moment of needing God, and that, he has no reason to help him because he keeps asking only when he doesn't follow through with it. And I was the queen of, Lord, you get me off this roller coaster. I will never go on a roller coaster again. And then get off the roller coaster, like, let's go ride another roller coaster. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying to you is this, right? Make room for your blessing. And as I have been doing this business, right? As I have been doing this work, the universe has given me every tool that I need. The universe has just been like it, it feels like when you ever seen those shows where people like are walking and there's like an abyss, but as they step, the bridge just gets built and like they just walk like there's something there and like the steps just pop up, kind of like one of those lit up things where they light up in the light, what I'm talking about. Okay, some thumbs up, some hearts, some yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like this morning, I woke up this morning. I didn't have time to get coffee. It's a nasty rainy day here. I was like, I'm just going to go through Mickey D's and get me a big old iced coffee on the way in. I got to get some work knocked out. It's an ambulance. What is that? I'm just being nosy as all. We're right by the nursing home. So we see ambulances coming like always. Like, oh man, some old person's sick. I hate that. But I got sidetracked. Sorry, y'all. I got sidetracked. Oh, shit. What was I saying, y'all? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. That happens sometimes. Tell me where I'm at. Hang on. It's coming back. About going to prayer when you only need it, about your responsibility, about the coffee. Yes. So, thank you. I got it this morning. I went to McDonald's, got my iced coffee because it was the easier thing to do. McDonald's coffee, right? And I was driving over here and I was like, the universe has opened up every door that it needs to open up. When I pulled up this morning, there was a line at McDonald's and I was like, fuck. Because McDonald's in Farmville, you get in a line, you might take an hour to get through there. But there's 2 drive-through lines. I'm like, why is no one in this other drive-through line? I'm going to pull around because everybody just sitting in this one line. I'm like, I just went around and like got into the other, like there's no one in this other line. Like, there's nobody in this other line. Why are they all waiting in this line? I'm like, I'm going to pull up. If that one's closed, I'm just going to go. I don't have time to wait in this line. But why are they not getting in this line? I pulled up. There's not, I was like, and they like, welcome to McDonald's, man, take your order. I was like, yeah. And I literally just drove, like, I just went through, like, it was like, and back here. I was like, what? Every light, green. Exactly the way I want to go. No traffic. It was just beautiful, 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 right? And when I am holding on to the fact that I'm like, I'm the hometown hippie, I have to make every single thing. I wanted to say this. I gave a shout out the other night to my team. And the universe said to me today and every day, and last night specifically, trust and believe. I'm trying to build a legacy. My soul's purpose is to build something that lives on after me. That's a piece of me. That was my goal. Part of my business plan, right? This is my child. This is the thing that I have given birth to, that I have created. This is the piece of me on this planet. I've told this a million times, and we'll say it again. After my mom passed away, I was at a family reunion, and this whole thing came up from this reunion. When I was, number one, two things can be true. They were like, as long as you're walking on this planet, your mother will never be gone, because y'all are two peas in a pod, right? And I thought two things of that. Number one, I got extremely blessed because my mom I mean, I don't have any, my mom was a beautiful human being. And the fact that someone, compared me to that and gave me that credit, flabbergasted me to this day. Because I'm like, I ain't shit. What are you worried about me for? I mean, I don't, you know me, I don't have that thing. It also made me very sad because I knew that I was not able to have children. And so whenever I'm gone, that means that my mom is gone, right? It's like, I don't have a piece. I like the earth, this planet always needs a piece of Julie, right? Always needs a piece of Julie in it. And the fact that like, I felt like I was like the person who, was going to have kids, right? That I was going to like, and then it's kind of one of those things too, where, you wonder, like, there's nothing that once I'm gone, I'm gone. There's no more history of me, because there's not children behind to like, like she's survived by, her husband. And so it just made me, I'm going to get teary-eyed and emotional. But last night, my mom came and talked to me. I saw a little video, and I was opened up my upper room, right? And what Hank says is true. Mom said, I gave you all the tools. I taught you all of the things, and you're teaching other people that. And you know that you're not going to be a mom to just maybe one kid or maybe two kids, but you're a mom to so many. And as a mom, you teach them things, and you watch them, and you are proud of their successes. You take pride in seeing the people who you created to create what they create. And I know I didn't give birth to my team. I know I did not give birth to my team, but Mel and Selena and Grace are like my kids, right? I love them like a mother loves their daughters. Like those three are, I love them all. I love them all differently, right? Each one has their strengths. Each one has their weaknesses. Each one has their own personalities, all of the things. But I am proud of what they do. And I'm proud to be able to maybe be a part of their journey in this world. Now, and I'm like, and there's the fear, right? There's the fear of not being good enough, of all the things that I have in me that I'm like, I'm not worthy to have all this, amazing people that do all these things and like just work hard. And I have trouble standing in the power role of I am the, the leader. It feels weird. But I'm learning. And, when I ask, what was my purpose, my soul's purpose here, and being able to be a role model or a mentor, I'm not going to say, it's not, they all have everybody's their own mama, but I'm saying, like, to be able to be a mentor and a role model or whatever my role is in their life, a friend, whatever it may be, because if I don't leave it behind, if I don't pass it on, if I don't share it with, then how am I leaving a legacy? There's nothing that's building a brand, not building a legacy. Building a legacy means that if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, Hometown Hippie moves on. And that's what we're building, is continuity of business in. Ability for me to take a day off. God's like, don't worry about getting hit by a bus, bitch. Just worry about going to get a float done. Like, you worried about if I die tomorrow? Like, what about just taking a day off, right? Thank you, Hank. I appreciate that. And I feel like I probably am that role to many of you watching, maybe. And I have trouble with that a little bit, right? And I'm trying, you're just like, hey, as you up your vibration, that's what's going to happen. And you see it happen. I see it happen in people above me. I need them differently. I am growing in my power. I am standing in my knowing of who I am. And as I grow and teach all of you, I want you to stand and grow and learn from that. And I just want to say that, it makes me happy that, the team is rising up to the occasion. Yes, I do. Sometimes I do. But I want to shake myself sometimes, dude. Like, I mean, we all have we all ebb and flow, right? We all ebb and flow. It's your responsibility to make your ebbs like this versus like this, because here ebbs and flows, right? You should be, sometimes you're going to have ups and downs, but this is going to get less. This is going to get less, right? So the extremes, right? The river should just like, oh, the dream is like a river, ever changing as it flows, right? And the dreamer's just a vessel who must follow where it goes, right? We just have to go with it. Go with it. And God said, Tammy, you have to trust and you have to release. That's what I'm holding on to. The fear, right? I'm like, but it's how is it mine if I don't touch it? And it's like, because you have blessed the blessings. You've called in the abundance of the universe. You can't do it all. And the ego goes, but you can. And God goes, but she can't. It's only the higher self, like my little, like, you can do it. No, you can't. I'm like, shut the fuck up, both of y'all. I'm trying to do my best. Right? And it's crazy like that. But getting the compliments on all the things that the team does, letting people do things, teaching them my tips and tricks, realizing I was just telling my BFS much the same thing. She said she knows. Yep. Here's the thing, knowing and doing, right? The difference between knowing and doing. And so the universe just opens up everything and keeps me on track, right? The difference between people who know what their soul's purpose is, right? And people who are still looking for it, knowing what it is and not taking any action is why the soul's purpose is not there, right? G.I. Joe says, and knowing is half the battle. It's exactly the true statement. You know it. You're halfway there, right? And we're all exactly where we're supposed to be in this moment. There are things you just have to like go through and deal with before you can get to your soul's purpose. I can't take that away. I can't fulfill that for you, right? However, the doing of the things, that's the difference between people who are healing and people who are on a path to healing. Some people are still on the path to healing. They start hearing it and they start knowing it, right? But I'm going to tell you this. The power is in the doing. When you start doing the work, when you start the doing, the knowing and the doing that's the thing, right? You have to know, but then you also have to take action. And I love that very much that you helped me get that thing. Girl, go get that float. I have a float, a massage, and a facial that I have not booked yet. I have hair appointments to book. I've got all kinds of stuff to book. And, I'm out here worried about, like, what if I get hit by a bus tomorrow? Red's like, what if you just go take a day off? And I'm getting to that point, right? I'm getting to that point. I told the girls the other day, I was like, I came in late the other day. And I was like, it's just like the first time leaving your kid at the babysitter for a couple of hours while you run and get your hair cut. I was like, I have not left the baby overnight yet. So we're going to see how that whole thing goes. But I want you all to know that if I take a day off, if I take a week off, if I take a month off, I believe that the girls, the team that we have in place right now, the girls, the women, right? The adult women who I treat like, like, okay, baby girl, what you need me to do now? Girl, have to go for a self-help day. Don't walk, run. But for me, it's very much like I need to. I know we just had a lot of stuff going on. I'm booking it the next week or so. I just got to do that, right? But that's a lot of it, right? That's a lot of it. It's just letting go of it. And I have been so incredibly blessed with the people that the universe has put into my place. And not everybody who's come through our doors has worked out, and we don't love them any less. We love them all the same. But not everything is for everybody, and we know that. And there's probably still people, and who knows? I hope not, but people can go find something tomorrow, because they have to do what's best for them. And it all works out in the end for us, and it all is all going to be fine. But right now, the team we have in place, they have been rocking my world. They take care of stuff. We have, we all have our few little kinks we have to work out still, get our little groove down. But for the most part, everything is working rather smoothly. We're still in the process of growing and learning. And but the more I have tried to force things to be a certain way, the more they have failed. But the more I've stood in my power, the better they have been. And so we are going to pull our card today. I'm checking on Wednesday when I get there. I expect to hear your specific date and time reserved. I don't know that that's going to happen by Wednesday, so you can ask, but I doubt it. We have a catering job this week, so my focus is getting that catering job done. That's just the truth of the matter. So I don't think it'll be done by Wednesday. Or we'll be booked by Wednesday. I'll probably book at the end of next week. So if you are local, like Melanie said, Wednesday night is our planning meeting for the Peace, Love, and Feast Fest. We do have a date. We do have kind of an idea. We will be dropping some more stuff after Wednesday night's meeting. It does run from like 6:30 to 7:30 each Wednesday night here in the Zen Den. We do have our baked brunch coming up in the month with our class, which strain is best for you. We have Mardi Gras coming up. There's lots of fun things happening in the Zen Den, but that's neither here nor there today. Let's go ahead and pull our collective card here. Let's do what we used to do where we can get everybody on the same wavelength, because I feel like there's some weird energy out there today. I can kind of feel it in. Maybe it's mine. Is it mine? Yeah, it's mine. In through our noses. I say inhale the good shit. Exhale the bullshit. One more. I'm asking my angels, guides, and helpers to please come in to help me pull the most perfect and correct card for the people who are watching this or who will watch this and need to hear this message today. I'm asking to be a clear and perfect channel for this message that I'm about to give. I heard number 8, so we're going to see what number 8 is. Interesting. This is fun because we are doing a grow right now, and in every grow, I am Reiki infusing our grows. So the Reiki starts from the seed all the way through the preparation product. So everything is Reiki infused now, even from the grow, and we have a cornerstone in our grow tent. If you are interested in getting a cornerstone for your grow tent, please let me know. I've got some in stock. You can get some. But citrine was our, it's a good abundant kind of thing. I put a huge citrine in there. And citrine is our card today. And the message for citrine is let in the light. Citrine is let in the light. And I'm not even reading it yet, but I'm going to say, like, you have to make room for the light, kind of like your soul's purpose, which is the light. That's what I call the light. So citrine, let the light in. And we're going to see what it says here in the book about it. I have a lot of citrine, interestingly enough. Citrine. Okay, you ready for citrine? Let the sunshine pour in. Some spiritual vitamin D will lift your spirits and your sights on life. Let happiness be a choice you make every day. Just like the sun's burst through for the fog on a cloudy day, you have the ability to bring light in. Even when you may not, hang on, let me restart this because my eyes are not working today. Let the sunshine pour in. Some spiritual vitamin D will lift your spirits and your sights on life. Let happiness be a choice you make every day. Just like the sun bursts through the fog on a cloudy day, you have the ability to bring light in even when you might be feeling a little blue. You are in charge of the weather within your inner environment. Embrace what it feels like to feel good and make a conscious effort to stay in the light. Right? Make a conscious effort. We talked about this at the beginning, right? How many people started their day off shitty and just the whole day was shitty? Versus stopping and taking a deep breath, finding 3 things you're grateful for, and letting that stumble is all it is. You know what? A stumble did not stop me. Because I'm telling you what, if you won't let a good morning make your whole day great, you shouldn't let a bad morning make your whole day bad. That was the point I was trying to make on that, right? Sometimes we have shitty things happen, but it takes no time to recover from it, right? Sometimes shitty things happen. We just have to remember that we can choose happiness. You can take the exit to like deal with your feelings for a moment, but get right back on the highway of like, it's all going to be all right, right? Core questions. What brightened your day? Answer that question in your journal this week. Because here's the thing, if you know what brightens your day, then spend more time doing that. When are you the happiest? Write that down, and you have to think about it and then spend more time doing that. It's called intentionality. When you are in the beginning of your spiritual journey and your healing journey and your path to feeling better, you have to be intentional about everything. You have to intentionally decide that I am going to be happy today. And the more that you make it a specific intention, you're going to rewire your neuroplasticity in your brain. You're going to rewire it all. And it's going to choose happiness on default, right? So you have to choose happiness. How does it make you feel to stand in the sunlight? We can't find out today because it's kind of cloudy outside, but the next day that you see the sun out, the next moment you see the sun out, go stand and bask in the sunshine and then journal about how that made you feel. Yep. Pattern, interrupt, breathe, and think with the other side of your brain. That's exactly it. Crystal affirmation. This is the affirmation that I want y'all to post in the comments for me today. I let the light back in. Today, watch the sunrise or sunset. So I know today here in Virginia, you can't do that. But if you were somewhere else in the world, go out this afternoon. Take a moment to watch the sunset. If you're an early morning riser, take a few minutes to stand outside or look through the window with your cup of coffee or your hot tea or whatever it is you drink in the mornings and watch the sun come up, right? And know that no matter what the day brings, the sunshine is consistent. The sun is consistent. It rotates at the same pattern, the same speed. It's consistent. And all you have to do every day is choose happiness. Be consistent in your choices, right? Let go of those things that are no longer serving you. What's no longer serving me is I don't have to be in the kitchen 12 hours a day every day. I have fully capable people that I pay money to that can do that. Right? I can take a day off. I am allowed a day off. I don't even need to be allowed a day off. I can take a day off because I want a day off, right? It's my prerogative. I can choose happy. And I want y'all to do me a favor. If you are struggling with choosing happy, I really want you to spend some time in your journal to figure out why you don't think you deserve it. Yep. Spring is my favorite time, not only because of my birthday, but the extended daylight, warmer temps, and things are blooming. Yes. And it's interesting because I saw this graphic the other day, and it was literally like January was a person sleeping. February was like them doing this, like wiping them stirred out of their eyes. And then March was like them up with like things all about them. Oh, Melanie, keep talking a lot. Keep talking a lot. We always want to hear that. We always want to hear what you have to say. I wish you would talk a lot in person too. You're kind of quiet in real person. I was reading this like I was not on live. I know I talk a lot. Thank everyone for always living my stories on the lives. Everyone have a great week and see you on Wednesday. Self-care today and journal. Yes, I love that. I saw that too. What did y'all see? That graphic. Yeah, the graphic. I got you. She's like, I saw that graphic too. Takes me a second in my brain. So everybody, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We're not doing a Super Bowl pre-party. It's nasty outside. I am going to finish up our Cisco order for our stuff we need for the stuff. Go look at all the things in the kitchen to get a good bearing of it. I'm going to go home, make me a big pot of white chicken chili, and then we are calling it a day. We are calling it a day. I'm going to get in my recliner, put my feet up, do a little laundry, eat some good food. Puffy Puff, taking me a peanut butter stuffed cookie home to like put it down. We're going to have a good afternoon. I'm going to go get woohoo, right? And I love each and every one of you. Couple of things, just a couple updates if you don't mind. Number one, we are starting to work on our food boxes. We got new refrigeration in this week. Y'all, it's been crazy. I have so much refrigeration. I got a freezer coming. My refrigerators, the new refrigerator's already in the back, plugged up, ready to go. But ribeyes right now are running about $15 a pound locally, between $13.97 and $14.97. I have some beautiful cut ribeye steaks that for club members and people that are in our group, they're going to be $9.99 a pound for ribeyes. So if you want to get a couple of ribeyes, you don't want the whole steak dinner, you can buy them by the pound at $10 a pound. We're doing a food share. I have power and bulk power, buying power. I'm going to see the price on some eggs. We have things that we also have our homemade dinners. We've been working on something. I have something up my sleeve. I will maybe tease it out this week, but we also are going to have ability probably by Hippie Holidays. We hopefully will be able to launch that program fully. We're looking for some volunteers that might want to let us get a good price on some groceries for a couple of weeks to try some of our frozen meals that we've been putting together. Where you pop in the air fryer for X number of minutes and you have a fully cooked meal. You just have to heat it up. And so all homemade stuff, or you can get raw materials to cook it yourself with like just the ingredients and seasoning packets, like a local HelloFresh kind of thing. So if you're interested in those programs, let us know. We could also have some hamburger. I got to see the poundage. I think it's like, I don't know, it'll be about the same or a little less. I'm not sure what hamburger's running. It's 80-20. We get it for a certain dollar amount. I can probably pass it along to everybody else. We get it for cheaper, I know. So we're trying to be able to, we have chicken and so much stuff we've got going on. We're finding local farmers to source all these things to help us take the local food market searching out of your, out of the things you need to do. So you can just come here and say, hey, I need a week's worth of food. I'm like, here's the things I can offer for this week. Even to the point if we can make you a dozen of just undosed cookies or a cake or something to have for your sweets in the house. So we want to make sure that you are eating whole, real foods and not like processed nonsense. So we're working on putting all those things together, and the team and I are excited to bring that to you. They have been stepping up their custom cake game as well. Selena and I turned a Orange Dream cookie into an Orange Dream bundt cake. That thing, I want one. So I'm going to eat myself one. We're going to make one this week and see how it tastes. Maybe we'll do slices of cake this week for our dessert, possibly. We may just do it as a regular cake and everybody can have it that way. We'll see about that. I'm interested to think about that. That's probably a pretty cool idea. We might just make one of those cakes dosed and then offer it as slices. That's a really good idea. We're doing that. We're fully doing that. We're fully doing that. Anyway, I love each and every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. I want to see, yes, ooh, it has mandarin oranges in it. Like I just created it. Like I told Selena, I said, go find a bundt Orange Dream bundt cake recipe, just a basic bundt cake, flour, sugar percentages. And then we added in vanilla pudding and we added in some mandarin oranges and just deliciousness. So it's a plan. It's pretty phenomenal, I think. So anyway, lots of things happening this week, but I want you all to go out, have a safe and productive Sunday. Go out and give yourself a little love because you deserve it. And come by and see us if you're local. If you can be here on Wednesday nights, either via Zoom, everybody can be here via Zoom, I'm thinking. If you're watching this, you can probably watch via Zoom. Come have a say in Hippie Holidays. Many hands make light work, so we can definitely use many hands. So on that note, we're going to do a little peace, love, and feast. And as always, y'all, stay elevated. I appreciate the hell out of you for tuning in every week, for being here. We're trying to get to 2023 and 2023 members in the group. So reach out to somebody today. Ask them to come be a part of the Grateful Fed community. We're opening up 5 in-person spots. We're opening up 5 in-person spots for the membership. So if you would like to get a membership that you were on wait list, know that we're opening up 5 spots for the in-person membership. This week's dinner for the the take-home dinners is going to be chicken broccoli Alfredo. I did fix that price on the menu for Grateful Fed. For some reason in my brain, I priced it as the dosed meal, not the undosed meal. So that's a $50 dinner with a cheesecake. Or you can get it on Wednesday night. You can get one single plate for $15 and each additional $10 without a dessert, like whole cheesecake and all that. You're going to get smaller bread, smaller salad, all that, but your normal size stuff. So on that note, y'all, we're going to get off of here. Stay elevated. I will see you this week. Love you. Bye.